In today's video, we're going to be go ahead and showing you 4 different flexibility assessments. The first one is going to be our Canadian trunk forward flexion test, the YMCA sit and reach test, chair sit and reach test, and the Thomas test. For all the flexibility assessments, shoes must be removed and a proper warm-up must be done. For the Canadian trunk lean assessment, we're going to have to sit down and stick our legs straight out without bending the knees. And right at the point of the measuring box, lay our feet flat on the box. So with the arms fully extended right on top of each other so your right arm cannot surpass your left arm or vice versa. Go ahead and lean forward with your trunk as much as you can. And with your arms, go ahead and push the metal marker on top of the box, and that will go ahead and measure your distance for the Canadian trunk lean. For my example, mine would be 17 centimeters. The next assessment we're going to be talking about is the YMCA sit and reach test. Similar to the Canadian trunk lean, we're going to be sitting on the floor with our legs fully extended out without bending our knees. Our head's going to be looking up just as the Canadian trunk lean. So the same thing with the arms, they have to be right on top of each other without the right passing the left or left passing the right. The feet have to be 10 to 12 inches apart. We're going to be measuring with the meter stick. So once you go ahead and reach over as far as you can, you must maintain that hold for about 2 to 3 seconds. And from that measurement, you'll be able to measure how you performed on the YMCA sit and reach test. As for my results, I obtained 11 inches. The sit and reach test, we're going to be performing on our right and left leg. So we're going to take a seat on the chair and keep our arms like we did for the Canadian trunk, not passing each other, but right on top of each other. We're going to fully extend our legs, and we're going to go ahead and reach for our toes. And another person or an assistant would be measuring your distance from your toes or how far you passed your toes. So you'll be doing that from your right leg and your left leg. For my results, I was 4 inches away from my toes on both legs. The final flexibility assessment we're going to be doing is the Thomas test. So as soon as you start the Thomas test, you want to make sure you're going to be lying completely down on the floor, on a mat preferably. So for the Thomas test, you're going to go ahead and bring your knee up to your chest. You can even with the help of your arms as well, so hold that position for about 2 to 3 seconds. Now that we notice that once we lift up our right leg, we're going to notice that our left leg, that our knee, there's going to be some space right under our knee. So if there is space right under that knee, that's going to indicate that you are flexible around that area, or flexible for the Thomas test. And even if you do it the right way, you pick up your left leg, notice the right knee. If there's some space right under the knee areas that are still being on the floor, that would indicate that you are flexible for this test. Once you've received your results or how far you performed your Canadian trunk lean, now we can go ahead and refer to the fitness categories for the trunk forward flexion test. From here you can go ahead and determine, depending on your results, what category you would fall under. And the 5 categories would be excellent, very good, good, fair, and needs improvements. And from your results, you can go ahead and compare to these charts to see where you would land. For these classifications, I would fall under the classification of needs improvement. Similar to the graph we just saw, this graph is going to be for the YMCA sit and reach test, and also for the chair sit and reach test. Go ahead and perform your assessments and flexibility assessments, and once you get your results, go ahead and come back to these charts, and you'll be able to determine which category you would fall under. Very similar categories to the ones that the graph previously shown for the Canadian trunk lean.